Lol. I had to update the... Oh, shoot. I had to update the thumbnail. I had forgotten to use it. There we go. All right, back to our questing in Baylor.
You come get the voodoo.
I do come for the voodoo. All right, I want to get this quest, but I need to drop something. What's it going to be? I'm not. Do I have to go all the way to Veramothras? You gotta be kidding me. Why didn't I finish that? Aha! That one.
How you do it, man?
All right. I could queue for Stormrot again. I don't know what drops in there for a rogue. Let's take a look real quick. Hey, James Kidd. It's about time we talk about a War 3 remake. No more War 3 remakes. I only want to hear about Warcraft 4. If it ain't Warcraft 4, what's the point? And who's going to make that? Exactly, nobody. Damn, is everything in here for a frickin' druid? I swear. It's not bad, but it's green. Basically two things that are the same. It does have 1% hit on it though. That's quite good actually. Lots of dodge. Hull of Forlorn Souls. Well, that's a shield. Tauren would love to have that. And it's got the 5 agility enchant. Wow. Do you have faith in Warcraft 4 with current active Blizz? No, of course not. They're not going to do it anyways. There's no money in it. Asha Sharma would never okay a project like that. Because at most, it sells like 5 million and then it's done. They'd have to monetize the living fuck out of it and then no one wants it. So, Elixir of Rapid Growth. Okay. Does that grow you? Silicose. Rusted Anchor, a mace. Oh, that's interesting. That's a very interesting mace. That I would want. As a goblin, I have a vested interest in maces over swords. No. Demon Hair Bow. 19. Oh, ranged attack power. That's clearly for a hunter, which we were just talking about. That would have been nice, but we didn't get it. This is a great trinket. It's got haste, but it's because I don't have any trinkets. Remains of the Innocent. So we got this. Given it's on the last guy and a secret boss, I would have expected better, to be honest. It is a lot of stats, though. Why not make 10 to 20 different 50-employee subdivisions, each given a project to make a game published by Blizzard? Each doesn't that work? Oh, I see. Yeah, when a big project ends, rather than laying everyone off, what Blizzard used to do was they would put them on side projects and stuff and like sort of what I would call incubators. It after World of Warcraft shipped, and this is before Bobby Kotick, so what is this? That's quite interesting. Anyways, before Bobby Kotick even got involved, they had already started doing like a big layoff after WoW shipped. That was in the news. Like there were news articles written about it because it was so unusual at the time, especially for a company as successful as Blizzard, especially on the back of a huge success like World of Warcraft going bonkers, out of their minds popular. So the greed was already starting to set in. In fact, someone had mentioned their regret over that incident because they felt like they had basically betrayed their own morality for money. And that's why I still respect them. But that sort of began the endless treadmill of hurry up to make a game so we can fire you. And it's been getting worse every year. Damn it. All right. So these guys do have pretty cool shit and they drop stuff that begins quests. That's the quest I didn't turn in. Okay. Because this one I would have to accept. So I do need to go to Undercity. Okay. I understand what I'm doing now. First, we're going to try and clean up the rest of Baylor, but that means going to the Goblin Island. So I've switched from my dagger, but I did realize that my dagger is probably a better offhand than the dodge one in terms of damage. So Betrayer's now in my offhand. Blurg. EA fired DICE employees after BF6 hit record sales and CEO raised his paycheck to... So what's the case? Make money, get fired. Make no money, get fired. Do anything, get fired. Yeah, that is the case. If you want to be in the game industry, that's what's going to happen to you. If you haven't watched my last game dev news, I do have I did exactly that story in one of my things. I might make a short out of it to try and get some more attention to game dev news, which I think honestly is probably one of the best gaming industry related news shows that currently exists. I've been looking around for competitors because I wanted to see maybe I'm doing something wrong and I'm not getting enough attention because there's like just better stuff to watch. There are people who have more views than me that are just not as good. Like there's all sorts of most of the game industry news is like gamer focused and they just get stories fucking wrong. They just say stupid shit and I'm like, wow, how do they get away with this? And it's not like I don't think they're doing it intentionally. I think they just don't understand game development. So they don't necessarily know what they're talking about, but they have like bits and pieces of the information and they're trying to put it together as best as they understand, but they don't since they don't work in the game industry, they don't understand the game industry. So they say just kind of off the wall bonkers kind of stupid shit sometimes. Oh no, there's other people mining here. Disappointing. I am addicted to the dumbest fucking game, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. Guess I just keep playing it. There you go. Anyways, if you haven't watched that game dev news, you should. It's kind of a banger. Ironically, I don't know. I'm testing out different thumbnails on this one, like YouTube AI generated two of them. So I'm testing the two generated ones versus my original to see which one does better. But I hate AI, so I feel bad using it. It didn't cost me anything though, and it does cost them when I use it. So I don't feel too bad about it, but I do feel bad that I'm inflicting slop on people. And there are people who probably would see one of those AI thumbnails and go, fuck that, I ain't ever watching this. So I do have to consider that possibility as well. But boy, oh boy, the number of AI generated shows I've seen on YouTube lately has been absolutely insane. And I've been reporting them as AI slop and hoping that they'll be destroyed. Probably won't be, but I at least can try to report them and get them off the off of YouTube, because I do know that YouTube doesn't they have some sort of policy about like pretending to be like a human being, which is what I keep seeing, which is kind of crazy that we're at that stage where people are just generating scripts, generating a person, and then throwing it on the internet. I swear now, every time I hear it's not just X, it's Y, I kind of lose my shit. And it's worse because I've used that sort of way of speaking in the past, and now when I accidentally do it, I fucking delete it. What a day and age we live in. Yeah, I'm playing that mobile game on 2 fucking mobile devices. It's shitty, so I'm not even gonna say what it is. Because I don't want to have anyone accidentally start playing it. If you did, you would feel bad. And I would feel bad for you. Alright. As to EA, fuck EA. They're owned by Saudi Arabia now, so I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck is going to happen to them next. I do know that they're paying their CEO $38 million. And that's if you look on Glassdoor, you can find the average salary of an employee at EA is around 75,000. But even if you bump it up 10,000 to 85,000, which is what I sort of imagined the people on the Battlefield 6 team would have been earning, that's 450 jobs if you just took a pay cut to 1.5 million. So you could still make 1.5 million a year, and you'd have 450 extra people to put on whatever games. That could be like 6 incubator projects. Battlefield 7 could be deep into production. Just any number of things you can do with that many people. But no, they'd rather pay their fucking CEO who does what exactly? What does he do all day? I can't imagine he's doing anything that important. In fact, I know he's not. There's no realm of possibility of someone working so hard that they do the job of 450 people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It depends. It must be clickbaity thumbnail and title. For example, there's a video called Why Video Game Optimization Degrade. It shows 2006 versus 2015 versus 2020. The entire video is just wrong, by the way. Ah. Well, my video is my video, and it's not... There's no AI in my video, except I discovered that one of the news articles that I had used did have AI script in it. And when I noticed, I wasn't sure what to do because the story is legitimate, but I link all my articles to show where I got them from. And I wasn't sure if I should just remove it. But then I still use the articles, so I think I have to attribute. But yeah, it was AI generated, and the way I found out was that it referred to Sarah Bond. Was it Sarah Bond? It referred to someone who was no longer at Microsoft as... It gave her a quote as though she was still working there now. And I've not been able to verify that quote. I think it fucking generated it. I think it hallucinated that. And yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I'm not going to use them for any future stories, that's for sure. EA being owned completely by Saudis is one of my least expected alternative realities to expect. I know, me neither. I never would have guessed that would be the way we were going. But here we are. Saudi Arabia owns EA. Can't wait for the next FIFA. Like, that's the only property they even care about, right? All right, let's put some poison on here. Look at its channel thumbnails. You get the idea how a thumbnail and title must look, vibe, and feel for people to click on it. You're surprised Jason Schreier made a YouTube channel and it's getting 100k views? I know, it's insane. I would have thought I'd be at least as popular as him, but he just blew me out of the water. He has written multiple very popular books, however, so... And he's well known throughout the industry and pretty well respected. So, I guess it's not that surprising. Whereas I'm just a pleb. I'm just a poor boy. There's silver? There's gold. Who is he, by the way? I always hear his name. He's a journalist. He's a games journalist. One of the OG games journalists, in fact. I've known about Jason Schreier pretty much the entire time I've worked in the game industry. Though I think he's actually younger. I think he only started reporting after I joined the industry. So while my career is older than him, he's certainly done a lot of reporting since I remember him starting. But yeah, he's got multiple books that are quite interesting and worth reading. If you go to my link tree down below, I have a link to his book about Blizzard, which I do recommend reading. I read it when it launched, and it's a pretty good accounting of everything that was going on there. It's not a total accounting, but I'm also in it, so I'm quoted in there. I'm quoted in there for, well, whatever information I could give. I think you can get up there, but you have to go like this. Maybe not. All right. I'm just going to go all the way around then. Wait, I'm poisoned? Oh, well. Now these spiders don't even care. But yeah, Jason Schreier's been around the game industry for a very long time. I've talked to him several times, once for his book and a couple times before that for news stories, but don't know him personally, if you know what I mean. Is this part of the quest? I don't think it is. Which means this quest escalates into that. Fuck. Let's get this up so I can see what I'm looking for. Web Weaver, hello. No! What? He has slow and an ensnare? God damn. Ridiculous spiders. Last one. Is how Blizzard works around modding and community. Is it something got too much attention they would C&D it? No. If it's just it's not about attention, it's about money. So if you collect money for your work, they will come after you. So you have to be very careful. The workaround for most people is to have a Patreon. And then you don't put a block or anything on the add-on. If it's behind a wall at Patreon, they can come after you. Though it's, unless you're stupidly popular, they're not even going to check. But anyways, the idea is that you can accept donations and stuff, but you can't have a direct pay for the add-on or anything like that. Does that make sense? In other words, it's okay to make add-ons and it's okay to have a Patreon that says, please support me for my add-on work, but it's not okay to put your add-on behind a paywall that people have to pay you money in order to get. Then it's you're monetizing their shit, and then you're in trouble. I really gotta stop playing this stupid game. And you don't want to be in trouble. Says the guy who's clearly cruising for trouble with them most of the time. Well, don't do as I say, not as I do. How's that? All right, you said no, but I don't know what you're saying no to. All right, doesn't do damage. That's a 42% attack speed slow? That's insane. You live somewhere copyright doesn't actually exist. However, there are two debuffs. One is obviously you can't get paid by anyone outside the country. The second one is weird. Does your country come after you if you get too much money? I think the main thing is just if you're planning to monetize it in some way, if there's a way you can do it where it's no longer their IP, then that's the way to go. Which is why I offer intellectual property creation services for everyone. For free if you really can't afford it. On the promise that if you make it big, you know, you kick some back to your boy at a future date. But whatever it takes to keep you guys out of trouble with the fucking Eye of Lizard is really what it's about. Some temptations in here for me. Alright, we just need one more web weaver, but I'm 90% sure they're going to send me back here to kill the named one. Now what? Brightwood. Nobody wants that. Why has everyone got their... Alright, there's no web weavers here, huh? I mean, we may as well. It's right there. And I got the bag space for it. And someone obviously already chopped into that tree and took the wood. Alright, back into the cave we go, I guess. There's no web weavers outside. How disappointing. What was that? Meaning, for example, if I made the Night Elf main menu background for War 3, I must put clothes on her? Oh, in your country, I see. They've got very strict clothing laws? Decency laws, I guess they would be called. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's go turn this in, I guess. Any need Belexista? What? Oh, it's a two-hander. Improves your chance to hit by 3%. And it looks like that. Holy shit. That's probably a warrior, armsman warrior bis or something. Or pre-raid. I imagine just being able to hit things would be highly coveted. Iran laws are weird to say the least. Oh yes, I've heard. Especially right now, I imagine. I can't imagine anything going on right now is making anything easier for anyone in Iran. Hopefully shit doesn't blow up anymore, and I mean that quite literally, I suppose. Than it already has. I gotta wonder, why is the West pushing for censorship laws? It's becoming well, the West is becoming fascist. That's what's happening. I've been watching it happen before my very eyes for the last 15, 20 years. It's some would argue it's always been. I would just say, to some degree, sure. Ever since World War II, I suppose. And Operation Paperclip. And if you don't know what Operation Paperclip is, it's some fun reading. If you're if you ever want to know what's really going on in the United States, it'll tell you all sorts of things that you probably didn't want to know. All right, I'm gonna stop playing this stupid game. He lied. He lied. My God. I should have this on the side and show you guys the stupidest game I'm playing. It's just the dumbest shit. It's addictive, but it's dumb as shit. It's basically an AFK Arena clone with the Invincible license from Ubisoft. It's I don't recommend it. Don't start on it. It is addictive, and it is super annoying. Did I take any of the quests from Drekthar? I don't think I did. Should probably go back there. Or I guess we'll turn this in first, and then it'll escalate to the stupid named spider, but then... Legion or not. So I joined, in light of Hydra moving over to Octo, I decided to join Zugzug, which seems to have a lot of players and a lot of 60s. So And it is 100% English speaking so far. If that's your thing. I'm still playing the game, but this time only on one. Have you ever tried weight painting in 3D programs before? Weight painting? No. What is weight painting? I don't actually know what that means. Stormwing buzzards? What the frick? Oh. Worth. Yeah. Definitely that. Non-unique though. Hmm.
May your blade never dull. Ogra! For the Horde!
Phew. My hope is once fascism runs out of money, things will normalize again. Once it runs out of money. The thing is, it prints money, so it can never really run out. I feel like many places that have slept for half a century awoke recently to rewrite history, especially in Eastern Europe. Interesting. I would... I would say that... things certainly feel different. Like, I've seen it heading in this direction for so long. I do wonder if people in the US don't see it. And in fact, based on some of the conversations I've had with certain people, I would say they don't. And I think it's because they've been living in it the whole time, so they didn't see that transition. It just sort of happened before their eyes very slowly. Whereas for me, I don't live in the United States, so every once in a while I check in with what's going on over there, and holy shit! Boy, did it get bad. And I don't know. Like there's certain elements of history that cannot be ignored at this stage in terms of like markers of fascistic rule, but people are ignoring it, and in the UK as well. Bone skeleton rigs for character models. That's what weight painting is. It's like adding bones. No, I've never tried that. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like I said, the most I've done in terms of 3D modeling is like laying out terrain in Maya, which sounds exotic but isn't. It's quite simple because you're just laying down a square and like gridifying it and then pulling up points and stuff. It's not difficult in the slightest. Or maybe I think it's not difficult because I did it for so long, but it's not that different from using like say the terrain editor in Warcraft 3. It's slightly different because it didn't have quite all the tools back then, or Maya didn't. But it wasn't that hard. What a scene. That's a screenshot. Oh. Oh, right. It's the stupid Murlocs I need to kill. Oh, seems someone's on it already. Are there more Murlocs? You know, I don't have a water-breathing potion, so I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, I don't think I can go all the way down there. Let's head over. Now, one of these islands has goblins on it. I think it's this one, so I'll head that way and see what's over there. It's adjusting or giving influence to each bone just so during bending it doesn't break. With higher poly models, I run into deformation issues, so I'm working on a program for standalone rigging to make standalone rigging easier. Well, that's cool. I imagine the guys who work on Hardcore Victims Unit, they use Blender. I don't know if that... I don't know what you're using. Ah. They're over here too. Alright. Perfect. Where are they? Here we are. 9 minutes left. Hope to maximize my usage. Unlike most Murlocs, these guys don't seem to run away. Tangy clam meat. Good, good, good. I did need that. Oh wait, these are not correct. Sea Herald, Soaked Scroll. Muckgill, Murloc. That's an Oracle. Need Hunter. I mean, fascism's just an ideology. It seems once we rid ourselves of these things after World War II, we had unprecedented growth. Ironic now that growth has slowed down, fascism shows its ugly face again. Yeah, well, it's on purpose. Because what happened after World War II, really it started with the Great Depression in the US, is that after FDR did the what is it? What did he do? The New Deal. He did the New Deal. Anyways, basically he did a bunch of socialist policies, and he didn't do it because he loved socialism. He did it to save capitalism, which is the greatest irony of capitalism, is that if you let capitalism go unfettered, it kills itself. Because everyone has played the board game Monopoly and understands exactly how capitalism ends. At least I hope they do at this point, because it's silly to think it's going to go any other way. But thanks to FDR and all the New Deal politics, we were able to get out of the Great Depression. And they actually installed term limits because FDR kept winning. Because he was so popular because of his socialist policies. Unfortunately, his plan, if he were to have won again, but after that he couldn't, his plan was to create an economic Bill of Rights. Basically, things like living minimum wage and so forth, and universal health care. Basically, things that any intelligent country would use in order to keep their citizens healthy, because healthy citizens are more productive. But instead, we got shit. And then it was around Reagan. It was Reagan, actually, who basically started destroying all those socialist economic policies in the name of corpo capitalism and on behalf of the banks. He's one of those presidents, one of the first presidents probably, who was owned by the banks. And basically destroyed the American economy. Ever since then, GDP has been disconnected from wages. Prior to that, they were both connected. And after Reagan, they got disconnected, and ever since then, wages have been on a downward spiral compared to inflation. And what's sad is that there are people who will argue that that's okay, that that's good. And I don't know if they're just lying, or they're indoctrinated, or they've been propagandized so much that they can't recognize that they're working against their own interest. Someone should do a study. Blender is good. I use 3ds Max. Both still take so much time and aren't really good for weight painting. 3ds Max is worse though. Ah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't do any 3D modeling, so I would be lost in that conversation. All right, these are not hunters. This is a tide hunter. I need a muckgill hunter. These are different things. What the fuck? There. Why even have two things with hunter in the name? That's annoying. Build rat. I think I have a quest for this as well. Yep. Build rat weapons. Would you believe me if I said I'm jealous of Sammy for how good his art is, especially the work he did on Heroes of the Storm? I would believe you. Why wouldn't I believe that? Oh, sounds like someone's in here. Interesting. What the fuck? Did that just spawn? What the shit? Okay, that's interesting. What the? Alright, there's some sort of bug here. I don't remember this happening before, so curious what's going on. Get these open. Oh, what the fuck? Hello. Whoa. All right, it's not better, but it's nice. I'm not gonna complain. What is with this boat? People are like disappearing and reappearing. Strange. Oh, Sammy's book. Sammy's art book is coming out, by the way. I don't know if you can get it because it's sold by Barnes and Nobles. I doubt they would ship to Iran, but it might be worth trying. I made a post about it on YouTube. Maybe I can grab the link and you can give it a go. But it's called ABCs with Samwise. Similar to his YouTube channel, which if you didn't know, he has a YouTube channel too. But he hasn't posted in like a year. I think he's working on something that's sensitive, so he can't really talk. Something happened. I don't know what happened though. I like that they all have a weapon. Every single one has dropped at least one sword. Oh, need to refresh the poisons, buddy. Throne room in Anaheim is beyond me. Throne room? What? I think I can talk for all of us here. Oh, okay, yeah. You said that already. Oh, no, you didn't. If not jealous, has to majorly appreciate Sammy's work he did. He one-armied the visual experience that Blizzard is today. The fact that they didn't build him a throne room in Anaheim is beyond me. Okay, now I understand. You're right. Warcraft is at least partially built on the back of him and QuestMaxxing. Let me grab this link for you guys. You can pre-order the book. The book comes out in October. They do ship to different countries. Like, for example, they do ship to Thailand. But I don't know about your particular countries, but you can give it a go and see. It's only $25, but shipping internationally is obviously can be expensive. Oh, this is a named guy. I did not need to fight him, did I? Oh well. Damn, now I'm poisoned. What all is in here? Logbook of the Rat's Nest. Interesting. Small isle north of the mainland. And that's here. Goro is overseeing construction. That's the ogre on the top, I think. Never mind. Captain Barbaros. Old school. If this were retail, this would be a bowl of fruit and this would be a fern. It's sad. Why doesn't he talk to you anymore? Did Xavius consume him again? I don't know. I don't know what happened. No one from Blizzard talks to me anymore. I think they've been told not to. Probably because I do controversial things like play private servers. And talk shit about them. Not my friends, but Blizzard in general. Probably not a good idea to be seen talking to me. And since Blizzard is so secretive, they really don't like the potential that someone might leak to me and then I might leak to everyone. Even though I am more than capable of keeping my NDAs, and I would never leak a secret that a friend gave to me. That they told me not to leak. That is to say. I am more than capable of keeping secrets. I can promise you that. But either way, for their own safety, it's probably best to not be associated with me right now. At least until... actually, honestly, until Blizzard shuts down entirely. Outlook Goro. Alright. I swear they're going to send me back here to kill him, aren't they? That's an Sammy dual monarchy. Should have lasted forever, but I guess a greedy goblin came in and shot the company to ruin. Minus to his own detriment, of course. Yes, indeed. Without a doubt, Bobby Kotick was the downfall of Blizzard. Prior to that, they had a chance to recover, and I think they might have. But after Kotick, it was kind of doomed. And then now with Microsoft owning them, it's even worse. I foolishly thought at one point that Microsoft could potentially be their savior, but that I think was perhaps naivete, or maybe it's because I had been working at In Exile at the time. I thought Microsoft wasn't that bad if they allow In Exile to make Wasteland 3, but then I realized that In Exile had done a Kickstarter for Wasteland 3, and that's how they funded the majority of it, so there really wasn't any risk. And then they laid us all off at the end anyways, as is the standard. The new standard. All right, we still need these Muckgill Murlocs and Hunters, so let's see if there's any left. Here's one now. I don't think he's supposed to be here. I think this guy here is an accident. What the hell? Chance to hit reduced by 50%. That's insane. Ugh. Tangy clam meat is actually valuable now because of survival. So we're going to try and keep room for that. Let's move these over here. Actually, this is way more valuable. All right. Now I know what I can throw away, generally speaking. Miss? Such bullshit. Damn. Let's just throw the strength scroll on me. I always hold on to them thinking that I'll get better value out of them somewhere else, but why wait? Increase the value by using it immediately. Every time I watch you stream, it gives me the itch to play again, but probably on Octo over Cappy. Yeah, wherever you're comfortable playing. That's the thing. It's not about well, actually it is. it is about what you're comfortable getting involved in terms of like there's a risk. Every private server has its own level of risk. And then you just have to decide like if I lose all this, am I okay? Soaked scroll. What? Okay, let me read this quest because clearly okay, in the cave. So let's go to the cave. I know it's not not something. Brain implode. It's this game. It distracts me. Totally wrecks my brain. Goddamn mobile games. Freaking curse on this planet. and yet I play them and somewhat enjoy them. Like a hamster on a treadmill, I think. Actually, exactly like a hamster on a treadmill. How sad is that? All right. I think maybe I can get to the back of the room. Oh, that's an elite. Okay, that's not what we want. That's not what we want at all. This must be something else. See Herald slain. Is that a herald? It's a Tidecaller Murglar. Murglar. And then a soaked scroll. Am I gonna need to get a water breathing potion? I think I might. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to go all the way down there to deal with this. There's no way. Oh shit. Okay. I see how it is. Octo mentioned that new custom content is a possibility after fixing most of the bugs. Has Cappy said anything similar? They've promised. They did a roadmap, and in the roadmap, they promised to do Grim Batal, which is questionable to me. Because as far as I knew, none of the Cappy dev... Oh, what the frick? You know what's sad? I do not have any way to vanish right now because I forgot to refill my stupid... Let's see what we can do. No, I'm fucked. Oh well. That's what I get. I don't know what happened. I like poked him and then went around the lip, and I guess he went all the way to the back of the shell. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. Look how far away I am. I am tempted to just revive and do something else. I think what we'll do... What quests have I got done? Free merchandise. All right, we'll return to Grex maybe, and then we'll return to Grex. We'll turn that in. Then we're going to port to Orgrimmar. Then we're going to go to Undercity. I have 2 quest items to look at. This one is the Dark Lady, so that's Sylvanas. And the other one... Was there 2? I swear there was. Did I move it? I don't know what I did with it. Bummer. So, yeah. Custom content, we'll see. I don't really know what to believe. But my understanding was that the Southeast Asia developers who were formerly part of the CapyWoW team, but they were just running the server in Asia. I don't know how much custom content they actually made. I don't think they did any of the custom content, to be honest. They might have done some Asia specific stuff. Maybe they do have some sort of a background in that sort of development from that. But my understanding was that like Grim Batal was being worked on by the core Turtle WoW team, who is now Moon Whisper. So curious. Curious. Octo, I have no idea. I don't know any of the people involved, and that's the way they want to keep it. So obviously, no sense in me speculating since I have no idea what their capabilities are or what they're up to. Clearly, they were able to get the server up and running and get data somehow from sniffing packets or whatever it was they were doing. Which, I'll be honest, always made me a bit uneasy. What was that? Okay, so that someone else got tangled up in it. Do you think if I shoot him from the front, do I really want to die again right now? None of these guys seem to be related to the quest. I think what I need is the underwater breathing. All right. Let's get on the turtle, and you can't mount here. No. No. Okay, can mount here. So I didn't see the goblins over there, so they must be on this island. Or maybe this one? Or maybe this one. I didn't go all the way out there, did I? All right, let's just turn this in. I want to go see what Sylvanas has to say. I haven't joined their Discord. I should probably do that. So I'll have some Unreal Azeroth news in the near future. For now, I'm not saying much of anything, but I think there'll be some exciting stuff for that soon. As early as next week, but we'll have to see how it goes. What's your favorite Warcraft race? Well, to me, the High Elves and the Dwarves and generally the humans are all kind of like mid fantasy stuff. That's all been done before. I'd say that the Warcraft version of orcs are far more interesting than traditional fantasy orcs, or at least definitely more interesting than the we're just evil Tolkien-esque orcs. But D&D started that trend with orcs being more, interesting and tribal and stuff. But I would say of all the races from Classic, probably the it's sort of a toss-up between the Night Elves and the Trolls, but I think the Night Elves win in the end. I'm just slightly disappointed that the Night Elves didn't go all the way with the Warcraft 3 stuff, where the women were the warriors and the men were the druids. If they had gone all the way with that, I think I would have definitely would have been Night Elves #1. But, can't always get what you want. Yes, I'm playing that stupid game. And hating it. Hating every second of it. Why am I doing this? What a waste of time. Blah. Alright, I ran out of money. There we go. Now I can't play it anymore. Perfect. Alright, we'll deal with the fallout of that later. So yeah, probably Night Elves. Oof. Warcraft 3 nailed their races so well, WoW has never done them justice. I would agree. Why did I pick this over Classic? Why did I pick Capybara? It has the Turtle WoW stuff, and the Turtle WoW stuff has things like fucking Kilrog Deadeye. Look at that. He's right here on Baylor. That's fucking amazing to me. And listen.
For the Horde.
Wait. Listen carefully.
Beware the shadows of this place. By my axe, victory or death. For the Horde. Beware the shadows of this place. Your mind is as hollow as my eye. Is chatter all you are good for? A disappointment to the Horde.
That's me. I voiced him. That's part of the reason. So it's a little bit self-serving, I suppose. Anyways, you don't often get to do voice acting when you're as old as I am and haven't been in the industry, in the voice acting industry, that is. So I leap at opportunities like that. Yours are night elves, but yeah, according to Sammy, it was a hard sell to people working on WoW, especially the writers. So they did whatever and retconned whatever they could. I can't recognize the voice. You did amazing. Oh, thank you. I did. It's pitched down a little bit. So obviously there's modification there, but I do a good orc, or at least I used to be able to. I don't know if I could do one right now because I don't want to make too much noise. My family is trying to sleep and my kids have school in the morning. So I don't want to upset them. I like how they designed Kilrog. Yeah, they did a really good job. The Turtle WoW team was great, and they were getting better and better and better with everything that they did. And then Lizard was like, too good, must kill. And yeah, here we are. When what they could have done is just fucking given them a private license and collected subscription fees. That was on the table. That option was there. They could have done that. That's it's not impossible to do. In fact, it's quite easy. Good lord, look at the length of that. No way. All right. I think no, it would be faster to just port at this stage. Night elves got yassified and Yay made them less savage. Yeah, the female warrior thing sort of fell apart. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. What? Did I do that? I've invited. Why am I inviting people? What is going on? I'm like accidentally inviting people to stuff. I don't know why. If anyone knows what might be causing that, let me know. I feel like there's an auto invite button. Is that a key binding? Is there like a party invite key binding? Something's going on where I've done that like 6 times now where I've accidentally invited someone and I'm like, why did I join a party? Wait, why did I invite someone to a party? What's going on? Maybe it's what are these? Super macro. Oh, it's my super macro. Could it be? Oh, Lazy Pig. Lazy Pig has all sorts of stupid options. Hold on. Why were they a hard sell to the WoW team? Warcraft 3 team didn't have issues with them, did they, Dave? No. Warcraft 3 team loved Night Elves. It was a hard sell to the WoW team because they were from a more they were looking at things from a more traditional Dungeons and Dragons background. And there was a perception that High Elves make sense, but Night Elves don't. Which is funny because I've run into that at another company, like a Chinese company. Where I tried to introduce desert elves, which is something they did in Dark Sun. They were like super hardcore badasses, and then that Chinese company was like, people will not accept desert elves. That doesn't make sense. They have to live in trees. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Go do generic fantasy if you want, but Jesus, I think people are tired of it. We would love to see something different. Summon auto accept. I don't see anything that would auto invite people. I see group invite accepts, but that's the opposite. So it's probably not Lazy Pig. What is happening? What is happening? Oh well. What did they say I have to type? Slash something? Slash Cappy verify. How's that gonna work? In Discord, I assume? Oh crap. That is to Gromgall. We're going to Undercity. To talk to my lady Sylvanas. To get a Ring of Judgment. I swear there was another item that had a quest on it, and I don't see it anymore. Did I delete it? Like an idiot? This is good stuff. Level 21, huh? I guess we'll put this on the auction house and maybe make a couple gold off of it. 5 nature damage every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. 5, 10, 15 damage. That's 1 damage per second. So it's an additional 1 DPS. But like... Also, does it take into account the +1 to 7 shadow damage? I don't think it does. Which means that the actual 18.9 is probably closer to 920? 2? Yeah. Yeah. Night Elves got kind of wussified and diluted. Night Elves in WoW feel a little bit more generic, unfortunately. What do you want in Warcraft 4, Dave? First is obviously ignore WoW story as if it never existed. I don't think you have to ignore it, but you can have it set. Well, you know what? This is my theory. I think QuestMaxxing is doing a universe reset. And I know this is like the 3rd time that I kind of fell for that as a thing that might be happening. But I think this time he's actually going to do it. Because he wasn't there for the last ones. I thought Shadowlands for sure was going to be a world reset. I thought the time travel one was... I don't even remember which one that is. I thought the time travel one was going to be a world reset. But I think this time... it's undeniable that the fucking World of Warcraft in retail is just out of control in terms of like... just too much shit going on. So maybe now they'll actually do a world reset. And that's Warcraft 4. And then they'll have the 7 races or 10 races or whatever. But I've said in the past that if I were to do a Warcraft 4, it would probably be a prequel to Warcraft 3 that showed the disintegration of the Alliance and was more about like political intrigue and stuff, and the orcs like last vestiges of the wild orcs trying to escape from captivity and things. But, you know, it sucks to go backwards knowing what the outcome will be. It would still be interesting, but I doubt they remove races. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Doing a Warcraft 4 now is impossible for at least 3 reasons. Number one, the return on RTS games, abysmal. And it's sad to say this, because I did work on it for some time, but Stormgate's failure kind of cemented the fact in the mind of all the money people that RTSs are fail. Don't bother. It's a waste of your time. It's all right, Dave. We're all on that copium that Metzen will try to turn the ship somehow. I know, even if only just on the lore department. The game design is still going to be horrible FOMO invested slop. Yeah, probably. Because it has to make more and more profit every year. If it doesn't, then it will be shut down. There's already layoffs impending. There's layoffs being held over their head. Asha Sharma laid off 1,600 people at various studios. Obsidian, for example, lost 25% of their workforce, which is insane. Because they also just got handed a new game to make. That is to say, a new Fallout. So imagine they're like, okay, Avowed 2 is canceled. And now we want you to start from scratch on a Fallout game, which they've never done one from scratch before. A few individuals have, but they are from like the last Fallout that they actually did from scratch was in the 90s. Fallout New Vegas was an expansion basically for Fallout 3. And now they have to do it from scratch. Like all the gameplay systems and everything for Fallout. New game, starting from ground zero. And they lost 25% of their workforce. What the fuck? Just the worst CEO maybe in Xbox history. Damn. Moo. Moo. What is happening here? The thing about Tauren females is that they should have should be down here. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not look at that. Anyways. I would think of going forward without the direction WoW took. Also, why did Stormgate fail? Stormgate failed for so many reasons. Let me finish the RTS point. Where was I with that? I said, Stormgate failing sort of cemented in the minds of all the money people that RTS does not make money. The second reason is that the people who made RTS games at Blizzard are not there. There's like maybe 3 people left who had anything to do with it, and that includes like Chris Metzen and like 2 level designers, 2 campaign designers. None of the original game designers are still there. And when I say game designers, I mean like systems design and combat and balancing. So that would all be new people, and most of those people who were on the RTS side of balancing for like, let's say StarCraft 2, those are gone too. They've gone on to other studios, tried to make their own RTS games. And Stormgate was not the only failure. There was also Battle Aces failed, and the only one that survived so far is Zero Space. They just launched into an early access, and reception seems pretty tepid. But so Stormgate's failures. Oh, the third reason. Actually, you know what? I don't remember what the third reason was. I already said money, and then they don't have the people, and then I'm gonna miss this elevator. No, that was the literal worst possible timing. What's Tim Campbell doing? Cyberpunk 2. Cyberpunk 2077 2. So Stormgate's failure was 3 things. Well, I don't know why I always say 3. I always say 3, and then I sometimes I only get 2. But number 1, they did not, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, they did not do enough pre-production and pre-planning. I would not have started hiring up people until I had the full campaign ready to go, because they were going to be on a shoestring budget essentially for the team, or should have been. Number two, I think it was a big mistake to have an office space. I understand that a lot of those people were kind of old school, so they kind of feel the need to have that office space in order to sort of feel like they're legitimate. I don't think it was necessary, and it was during the height of the sickness, we'll call it. Ergo, lots of people were forced to stay home anyways, so they were paying for all this office space that was, mostly just partially used. So how does that make sense? So why are you paying for all this office space and it could have just been remote? I was remote. Tim was remote. Everyone could have been remote. There was no need to all be in there because we're all meeting online anyways. So that was kind of a ridiculous overhead to throw onto the studio. And then I think that they spent an insane amount of money on marketing and pushing a game that wasn't ready to be shown. And all of that money could have been used to sustain the studio for a full year longer, I believe. Especially if they had done what I said for the pre-production phase and stretched that out and made sure that they had everything in order in terms of like, here's the campaign and here's all the units and stuff that we want to do, and we've got the prototype going, and then slowly staff up there. But have that story in the bag and make sure it's good before you go forward. And then and to be fair, they did spend a lot of time on story and stuff. It's just that I think that they kind of kept changing everything as they were going, and that caused all sorts of ripple effects and problems. Anyways, and then finally it was like just they revealed too soon, and then they launched into early access, having said in the past that they were funded to launch. They meant funded to launch in early access, but they didn't say that specifically. And therefore that caused all sorts of backlash. And then what they showed was like a not very good campaign. And ergo, people were pissed off. 5 strength, 5 agility. So that ends up being 10 attack power. This is 7 agility, 1 stamina. This is 15 attack power, though. Let's see which one's better. That's more. It's really close. So it's like 0.2% crit. I mean, we're losing stamina. All right, I guess it's better there. Dental plan? What? Wait, really? With CDPR? Yeah, Tim Campbell is in charge of the next Cyberpunk 2077. I'm very excited for him. And I hope he hires me as a writer, but I don't think it's going to happen. They updated Sylvanas' model. She looks better now. Yeah, they did. They put her in some appropriate ranger garb, I think. I wouldn't mind getting that set. T-mogging into that. Right? I guess we'll sell this. I don't know. It's in dedication to acts of heroism during the Second Battle of Durotar. I think I should maybe keep this. What do you want? Okay. Our classic model was a night elf. How sad. Yeah, but that just shows how when WoW launched, it was in like such a rush. It's amazing how little thought went into Sylvanas at various points in history, given how big of a character she eventually has become. Dental plan is part of the Simpsons ship posting. Oh, not aware. I so I passed out last stream, but I remember you being pissed off and kind of screaming. I was probably talking about good lord, anything from Game Dev News. If you haven't watched the last Game Dev News, go watch the last Game Dev News because like if you aren't pissed off, you should be. It's absolute madness. Absolute madness. All right. So we turned that in. What if we queue for Scarlet Monastery? Have we done Castle? I think we've only done Library. Oh, that's Stormrot. Have we done Graveyard? I think we did Graveyard. Have we done... We did do Library. We did Library once. It's the other two we need. I'll queue for it and see what happens. Probably no. Probably nothing. Let's be realistic. This is Sparta! Indeed. I feel really strange when thinking of Sylvanas, considering I'm a Night Elf fan. Well, she's the only one. Dark Ranger isn't like a class, though it probably should be. It should be something that a hunter, that an undead hunter can become. Let's see what we can get for this. Oh, wow. Wow, why is this so expensive? I mean, it's really good. Is it like Abyss for some PvP thing? I'll just throw it up there. 17 gold would be a godsend, given I have to pay for a mount at some point. Savory fishing lure, zesty clam meat, and soothing spices. All right, let's make a bunch of these. And maybe we'll... No, we need life root. Oof. You meant story-wise, BFA Shadowlands? Oh, I don't know. I don't know the story. What is story? Do you have soothing spices? What was it, 2 for each? So I need 22.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Where is the burn? There it is. Wait. Oh, it's not zesty. Oh, frick. What are these? Tangy. Arg. What have I done? No. Son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I guess there's that. This would only make 6. At least we can finally get those sturdy nets out. Why did I think it was food? Did I get rid of the turtle meat? Eight stamina. Tiger meat. I must have sent the turtle meat to someone. Damn it. we need a blacksmith. Which I think is in the Rogue's Quarter. This whole place is a maze. Oh. Nope. Oh, wait. The jewel crafting area has a forge. Yes. Erg. Why is OBS crying? What have you done, OBS? Jesus. All right. Move that guild down here. You have no permissions / Cappy verify. / Cappy verify. Physics. / whisper. What the heck? I've never seen this before. Oh. Whoops. Okay. Done with that. I don't take the story of WoW after Wrath canon because it's really disgraceful, but still, Sylvanas really gives me conflicted feelings one way. I hate her, another, I like her, another, I feel bad for her. Yeah. It's because she had multiple writers all fucking around without a consistent vision behind her motivations and her overall, like, personality. And the sad truth is, even Metzen didn't really have that in mind when he was writing her. She was a throwaway character, effectively. She was someone that Arthas was just going to turn into a banshee along the way, and there wasn't any more role for her after that. And then eventually, he sort of was like, actually, she's pretty cool, and then developed her more, and then became a huge part of the Frozen Throne. So,
I am forsaken.
but her sort of checkered past in that regard seems to have followed her throughout her entire. Oh, I don't have save file yet. That sort of, what would you call it, ambivalence, where people don't know which way they feel about her, is because there's just multiple people taking her in multiple directions all the time. It's definitely not been good for her character. I'll say that much. All right, so we're gonna make spicy fishing lure. We need spices to do that. Why didn't you get the spices, Dave? Meh. And in fact, she even got sabotaged at one point, where a certain someone apparently had her destroy the world tree in the story out of revenge against people wanting to do cool things with her. Like it hurt him personally or something. I don't know. Just the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit was going on there. There was clearly infighting and stupidity and all sorts of nonsense. All right, let's see how many we can actually make. If there's going to be 11 of them, then... No, we don't have enough shade wood, so that's a problem. But if we don't make the sturdy nets now, we'll never make them. So let's just grab a bunch of sturdy rope, I guess. Eight times 4 is what? 8, 16, 32? Math is hard. I don't know how people memorize times tables. I can't do that shit. Probably the same reason I can't learn languages. Apparently, Metzen was surprised when Sylvanas burned Teldrassil. The last thing he worked on before leaving was Battle of Lordaeron, and it seems they didn't tell him about Teldrassil, and Alex pushed it. Yeah, not surprising. He was not a team player, you might say. Yeah, team player. He played for Team Asshole. Hot spices. 11 spicy. And then 8 sturdy nets after that. Maybe I have some shade wood in the bank. I should check on that. But yeah, there was a lot of things going on at Blizzard that QuestMaxxing didn't realize was going on, and he regrets that. I know he does. And he had his own troubles that he was dealing with certain individuals, but those people are gone. So he's probably having a much easier time these days. At least I like to think he is. And yet still, you know, there's lots of bullshit that goes on there that we'll have no idea about. These are all Brightwood. Wow. All of them are Brightwood. Okay. Disappointing, to say the least. Darkar of the Third Khan. Two-handed axe. Yeah, that's 26 strength is nice. Looks very plain, though. All right. Now we have most of the fishing traps. What are we going to do? This. I don't want to buy life root. I do have an herbalist now, so maybe I can wait. I got too much stone in here. Maybe we can sell it on the auction house. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. I do wonder what's going on these days. I'm very curious to see what they announce in September. Just before the holidays. So typically, the BlizzCon being in September is so they can announce stuff that they want you to buy for the holidays. That's sort of the cycle that they've fallen into. So I wonder if this Classic Plus is going to be something that they've already got in the bag, which would mean they've been working on it for quite a long time now. So that will be interesting, to say the least. All right, let's... Where's the mailbox? Strala. Dora. What is my first aid skill at? We're at Mage Weave. All right. All can have these then. And we need to buy flash powder. You wouldn't believe. And I forgot to buy it. Does the general vendor have flash powder? Probably not. Son of a bitch. Is there a reagent vendor here? Yes. But they don't have it either. Only spellcaster bullshit. Oh my god, I gotta run back to the rogues quarter. Son of a gun. Forsaken NPC called Arthur Lamau. Yeah. I think he has a quest too that I already did. Oops, wrong way. I don't think this queue is gonna pop. Much as I'd love to do the Scarlet Monastery. You said Richard Knack was good. Have you seen his Wolfheart book? No, I have not seen it. I haven't read Richard Knack since like the 90s. So that's where my impression of him comes from, is that I grew up reading some of his books and enjoyed his sci-fi. So I don't know. Don't know what he's up to these days. But I thought he did a fine job with the lore for Warcraft, and it was a shame that they sort of shat on it. Didn't see much point in that. But they did it. Dust of deterioration. Wait. Yeah, dust of deterioration. 20. There's something I can do with this Essence of Agony. I think Mind Numbing 2 is like, that's the only one you get. There's not a Mind Numbing 3. May as well sell it. May as well sell this too. Poison vendor does not have flash powder. Who the fuck does? What the shit? Is there no flash powder in Undercity? Or do I have to go to the rogue area? I guess I have to go to the rogue area. That's survival. None of these guys sell it. Who the fuck sells it? Like, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure the flash powder is sold in Orgrimmar by the poison guy. So what the hell's going on here? Did I just hallucinate that it wasn't there, maybe? Yep, I did. Wow. Old man. Man. Let's double up on it since I've been going through it like crazy. Wolfheart was awful, to say the least. Basically, he's awful when it comes to writing women. Okay. I could see that. I don't remember specifically from anything I read of his, but that tends to be a common weakness of male writers, including ChrisMaxxing, who, in case you need a reminder, almost fridged Jaina the level after you meet her, and treated Sylvanas as a throwaway character when he first had Arthas turn her into a banshee. So, you know. Seems to be a common issue for male fantasy writers, I suppose. Metzen was good though. Yeah, he was good. I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying that his instincts in certain areas were perhaps not the strongest, and sometimes were mitigated by other people chiming in. He would always bounce ideas off of other people though, so it's all good. All right, I'm not going to put these up. 3 silver would be what? Half a gold. I think I'd rather send them to my jewel crafter and then see if they need them. And then if they don't, then I can use them for something. All right, this queue is not popping. It's not popping at all, is it? Nak wrote Maiev as a serial killer in Wolfheart. Literally, what in Warcraft 3 did he see and came up with that? A serial killer? That would be bizarre. Yeah, I agree. That doesn't sound like Maiev at all. Yeah, no sir, don't have a clue. What the fuck is that about? I would say that would be a mistake to write her that way. Who has the seeds? I have the seeds. I have so many seeds. All right, get in there. All right, if this queue doesn't pop, where can I go to get some XP? Remembering that resolving these is probably the goal. Let's go to Grim Reaches, maybe. Yeah. Grim Reaches has a bunch of green quests. We can work through those while we wait for the queue to pop, and then it's not that far to get back here. Oh, ooh, ooh. Let's stop at Hammerfall and see what's going on there. I'm gonna get some water and ice. Oof. Serial killer my ass. Got to start thinking about what I'm gonna put into the next game dev news, which means I have to start looking through all the very depressing news articles being written about the game industry these days. I wonder if I could put together an entirely positive game dev news and just like only focus on like good things that are happening. It's just that there's nothing good. Nothing good is happening. Nothing good is happening. Actually, tell you what. I'll do an entire episode. Oh, fuck me now? Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was super unfortunate. I thought it would be another hour, to be honest. Anyways, here's the deal. All right, Microsoft, if you're listening, I'll do an entire positive episode about you for $30,000. Let me know. I can sell out. I just need a good price. If you guys don't want me to sell out, there's a link down below where you can find ways to support me. But I must be honest that the game industry is in dire straits these days. Contracts are harder to come by than ever. And every job has a competition threshold of like 100 people. You can actually see on LinkedIn when you click on a job posting, it'll say like 100 people have clicked on this, and it's always at least 100. So it's rough, rough. Yep. So you get job rejections all the time now. It's hard to feel too bad about it just because you know that you're competing with like 10,000 people at this stage. Or actually 14,000 people, given that the layoffs for 2026 have already skyrocketed. Thanks to Asha Sharma. I think they were talking about quests or something. Tutorial on how not to get fired. There's no way to not get fired in the game industry these days. Be rich and become the CEO, then you can't be fired. And if they do fire you, they give you tens of millions of dollars on your way out. So you'll be good for the rest of your life. Literally, the EA CEO got 38 million for 1 year in compensation. He can retire. Why don't these people retire? Like, just fuck off. Just fuck off and go away. And here's the thing with the AI. If there's any job that an AI could do, I think CEO is number one. What's funny is I just saw a bunch of executives posting about replacing CFOs. So now the CFO position is getting replaced by an AI. The executive class will start turning on each other, and then it'll just be a bloodbath. But honestly, if there's anything that can be gotten rid of, it's middle management and middle management and the top level of executives, because they do the least amount of actual work, and a lot of their decisions are arbitrary because they aren't paying that much attention to what's actually going on. Everyone thinks the CEO makes the hard choices, but they're not making hard choices. They're basically just looking at numbers on a page and saying, yeah, I guess we'll just lay off some people to make the quarter look good for the shareholders. These aren't hard decisions when you are so psychopathic that you basically aren't human anymore. But in terms of game development, how do you not get fired? Well, if you make an amazing game, you get laid off. If you make a bad game, you get laid off. If you make a mediocre game, you get laid off. There's nothing you can do on an individual level as a contributor to a game developer, that can change your fate. Because these decisions are arbitrary, or greed induced, or random. Yeah, arbitrary and random mean the same thing, Dave. They're arbitrary, or they're predetermined, or they're monetary. So if it looks good on a spreadsheet, you're fired. If the CEO's having a bad day and he wants a big fat $8 million bonus at the end of the year, you're fired. If the budgeting looks bad for the next quarter, you're fired. There's nothing you can do. You have no control. None. The only thing you can do is go work indie. Go make an indie game. And that's probably the only thing I'm recommending moving forward, is if you want to get into the game industry, make your own game as a hobby in your spare time and do whatever day job it is that makes the most money for you. Because under capitalism, you have to do whatever makes you the most money so that you can avoid capitalism. The irony. Or just be rich. If you're independently wealthy, you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just sit at home and work on your game all day and hire people. Make a game studio. I know a lot of rich kids who tried to make their own game and put a studio together, but the problem with those rich kids is they have no talent and no knowledge. So they have all the money, so they have all the power, so they make all the decisions, but they're bad at all of it. And it's frustrating to watch, because it's like, wow, if I had that person's money, I could have done a way better game in way less time with way less people. And I just was unlucky and not born rich. And also I have a solid distaste for capitalistic endeavors anyways, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate not because I think it's a good thing, but unfortunate because I'm in the situation I am now, I suppose. Did they all go in? No. All right. Why are they doing war mode? I don't even know what dungeon we got. Cathedral. Okay. Is Cathedral? Which one's Cathedral? I think it's the... it's the last one. Requires the Scarlet Key. Or does it? Do I have it? I do. Actually, we're waiting for people. No point in poisoning. Roar. So, White Wolf has a new Vampire the Masquerade book coming out. And I was thinking about alpha testing it. You can register for the free open alpha playtest on Demiplane. Let me click on that. I've always been a fan of World of Darkness. Read the rules, create a character, give feedback. Interesting. If anyone else would like to try, you can do so here. If you're into tabletop RPGs, I suppose. Storyteller packet, player packet. Oh, you gotta make an account. No. Do I have a World of Darkness account? I don't think I do. Whoa. Ah! What? Okay. I think the solution to bad starting stats in real life is to let oneself be isekai'd. But I don't think it'll work the way most people think it does. I'm also assuming it's just a giant psyop or what? Alright, let's get poisons on. Since these guys mean business, apparently. Oh, I was trying to be on the one who was... Oh well. Let's promote him to leader. What? Oh. Uh-oh. Things are dying fast. Hey, Grok, be a greedy CEO. I mean, it would probably end up being a better CEO than Elon Musk. I bet it would do better things for the workers too. For people to Minecraft themselves. Oh look, it hid censored my last message. I see. Minecraft themselves. Eh? Yeah. Damn. Hard to compete with a two-hander, eh? He's level... Oh, that's a shaman. Ooh. One day you'll remake Warcraft 3 and then remaster that remake for extra dramatic effect. What a world. What a world. You're now breathing manually. Also, you assume got to blink. Do I have to blink? I guess I do. Otherwise, my eyes will freeze. Nothing really drops in here till the end, huh? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's no escaping this. You're fucked. If I can kill one of them. Who am I on here? This one. The wizard! Kill the wizard! Holy shit, kill the wizard. Oh, there's a centurion who's healing? Do these heal? Is this like a paladin? Wow. Cost me a healing pot, but... greed, greed, greed. Let's eat a food. You were wondering why the Draenei retcon or whatever happened, like from Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, Draenei were the broken, but in WoW the broken are what? And Draenei are different. I don't know. That's definitely a QuestMaxxing question. I believe he answered that at a BlizzCon some time ago as a what did he say? I don't remember what his answer was, but I think he said he forgot. which is fair enough. That's why he has so many lore historians and stuff, though. That whole department stems from trying to prevent QuestMaxxing from forgetting stuff. It's kind of what I figured. Oof. Oh, I've got a poison down. That's the problem. Ding. There sure is a lot of ruins I can't read. What server are you playing on? This is Capybara Paradise. Cappy is a Southeast Asia server. Or Chinese, or whatever you want to call it. I'm still pretty sure they're in the servers in Malaysia, though. Hey, there's this first expansion of the biggest MMO ever. Go ahead and play this ugly inbred blue thing with reverse joints. Sound fun? Yeah. I mean, when you put it that way. Yes, that sounds amazing. Gotta pull them all. These guys are brave. You don't have issues with the dry, but their technology bullshit is not what I call Warcrafty. Yeah. The whole UFO thing and, oh, we're aliens. I just... not a big fan of that either. Like literal UFOs, flying saucer shit. Just too much. I mean, at least they won't be confused for Warhammer 40k, I guess. I wonder if that was the concern. Like, if they didn't make it kind of cartoonish, it might be a problem. Hmm. Inquisitor Shawl, damage and healing 9. Wow. And 8 intellect. That would be amazing for a caster. Oh, shit. What accent did the Draenei speak again? I forgot. I don't remember.
Arise, my champion.
At your side, my lady.
Ah, Mograine. Such a paladin. Can't really justify taking that. That's two-handed. I can't do that either. Did we get the quest done? Or is there another? Yep, it's done. All right. And that comes with this sword, which is 29.7. That is badass. All right, let's get out of here. Wait, where do I turn this in? Veramothers. Okay. I see a dirty goblin. What blend of classic versus modern is this capybara running? It is TurtleWoW. They have the most up-to-date version of TurtleWoW before Blizzard got their disgusting meat claws into them and started chewing on their bowels trying to get money. One thing that made me always laugh in Warcraft 3 was how Goblin Shipyard gives you Night Elf transport and fighter ships, and Night Elf Shipyard model was in game, but whoops, but ended up unused. Was it unused? I think we did use it in the Frozen Throne. But I think we used it for the High Elves. You were on Turtle right up to its end. Are our tunes transferred over? Unfortunately, this is the Southeast Asia server, and I'm pretty sure that they don't have the database of the characters. I thought they did, but they keep promising that they'll do something with that, but then they never do. They did have the account information though. So if you had a Southeast Asia server account, you can jump on here with but it just won't have any of your stuff on it. So sad, but nothing was saved as far as I can tell. There's something in my eye and it's gonna drive me crazy. Goblin sponsorship. All right, what are we doing here? We just turn this in and then we'll probably go back to Baylor. Not sure I'm ready to be hurt again. Gone through maybe 10 plus private servers so far. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to be willing and ready to lose everything. And I just don't care anymore. So I can enjoy the experience and then lose it all and then move on. I think I've been hurt too many times. So I've become insensitive to it. I believe you worked on the Frozen Throne Night Elf campaign. Yes. I worked on all of. I didn't work on every mission. If you go to my Discord, you can see the exact levels that I worked on. In the Warcraft channel, it's pinned there as like what's it called? Something like stuff I did or something like that. And you can see exactly which missions are mine. The sad truth is that I can't remember exactly what I did on all those missions anymore. But if you're very curious about that, you can go watch the Warcraft 3 playthrough that I did a long time ago now. But basically, back when my memory was better and actually playing the game, I remembered a lot more stuff than I can possibly remember now about what I did back then. So you can watch that series and get all of that information. There's also the Ask Me Anything series where I basically answered all of the questions that people had about Warcraft 3 in abundance, and I answered all the ones that I could. So if you're interested in that, there's a ton of videos about that. There's like 8 of them, and they're across 2 different channels. They're shared across my channel and Ablehawk's channel, so you can go back. You have to go back and forth between the 2 channels. But there's a lot of questions answered there. Which mission are you proud of the most in the Night Elf campaign? Proud of? None. I'm only proud of 2 missions. The Culling of Stratholme, which I did work on directly, and did I wear that yet? No. And Dungeons of Dalaran, which is, I think, my personal favorite in terms of stuff that I did. Oh. Level 30, you say? All right, well, we'll send that to Dolgra. These are already known. Great. Yeah, if you watch my Warcraft 3 playthrough of well, the whole thing, you can skip to the Culling and the Dungeons of Dalaran, and I probably have a lot more things to say on those two missions because they were the ones I remembered the most vividly. Have to consider it, but I'm not sure I want the CCP to take me to one of their embassies. I don't think you have to worry about that. Again, it's a Southeast Asia server. I think that the server is actually located in Malaysia and not in China because Malaysia has very laissez-faire. Basically, they're not going to do anything. In terms of like where the people who are running the server are, I don't know exactly. I imagine they're in China, but I don't know that. They could be in Hong Kong. They could be anywhere really. Any Chinese-speaking country. What? That jailer had a name, Kassan? Yeah, it's Kassan. Was he meant to be important? It was important to Metzen because he made me name it. And he wanted it to be named Kassan. I didn't name him. Metzen named him. So I don't know what the story is there exactly. I don't remember anyways. But he's supposed to have some sort of relationship with Kale. And I think they refer to it in that mission. But how well thought out that was, I don't know. All right, we need to go the other way. What am I doing? Trying to get to the Apothecarium so we can get to Veramothras so we can turn this in. What other dungeons could we be running? Dragon Maw Retreat? Let's queue for it since we're on this side of the world. Let's see what happens. Ah, sphincter. That's never explained. Is it?
What is it? I am forsaken. What is it? I haven't got all day.
She hasn't got all day. I don't know why these characters vanish like that. It's so weird. All right. That's a lot of stamina, but that's a fucking badass sword. 5,000. Nice. All right. This goes to my offhand. Yeah. And now we're dual sword wielding. Wait, why is it so not good? That's the offhand then. So the dissolved hook has a higher damage and slower. So the Sword of Omen goes in the offhand then. Yeah. You find it funny how Alex Affafuckface's self-insert is called Field Marshal Affafuckface and reminds me of Grand Marshal Garithos, and that Affafuckface was in control of Sylvanas for 12 to 14 years before being fired. Yeah, kind of totally fucked up her character, I would say. And if, what the shit? What is this? Informant's belongings. Oh, skill not high enough. I'll be back for you. I'll be back. Yeah, it's just unfortunate he was allowed to do so much damage to a variety of things, including the mental health and well-being of employees there. But hey, they got rid of him eventually. So it can't all be bad. I mean, it can all be bad, but at least he's not there anymore. What's up? These are way too expensive to be doing anything with right now. I know they added a bunch of these, a bunch of new ones last second. There's like some crazy stuff in here. I was looking for one thing. What? It's not a cloak, it's a chest. Shadow lace skirt. 27 gold. Yowza. Stop talking bad about him. He made me feel like I was being touched in game. Wow. Late surprise stream? I got about another 30 minutes, so we'll say yes. I don't know if it was a surprise as much as it was just I wanted to play after just I mean, go look at the game industry and what's going on in it right now, and if you're not sad afterwards, I don't know what to tell you. What? Did her hands just grow 2 sizes? Oh, okay. No, just goblins have huge hands. Black evening glows. Look at those. Okay, eventually we'll get all that stuff, but not right now. Back to Baylor, I think. Or we could go to Grimreaches. I know I've got 2 spider legs sitting in my inventory somewhere that I want to get rid of. Here they are. Anyways, how you doing, Taurus Franco? How you doing? Wait. Oh. There's the other thing. Yo. Grim Reaches. All right, we're going to Grim Reaches then. I think I said I was anyways. Hopefully there's a mailbox there. Oh, what a flight. What a long ass flight. All right. Hopefully our queue doesn't pop while we're doing that. Oof. Thank God for Coke 00, huh? It's probably bad for my metabolism in other ways. but having an entertaining mouth drink with 0 calories and 0 caffeine has been very helpful for me lately. Dalaran. So my neighbors lately have been moving furniture around or something. Late at night, it's like 11 p.m. here. 11:40 p.m. It reminded me of in China. In China, in my apartment, there was always someone moving furniture very, very late at night. And apparently, it's because if you can't sleep, it means that your room is not arranged correctly. It's called feng shui. Um, so if someone, if a Chinese person can't sleep well at night, they start rearranging their furniture to try and improve their feng shui so they can sleep. It's kind of bizarre, but I also kind of get it, but also not fun to hear someone dragging their bed or their dresser across the floor if you live below them. It didn't happen too often, but it happened often enough that I certainly remember it. If you ever move to China, you might encounter that. Oh my god, tissues. I gotta order some. Weird. Why is the worst one more expensive? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, because they're 3x2. Ah, fascinating. May as well order toilet paper while I'm at it, right? There's a Disney. It's the same thing. There's a Kleenex with Disney characters on it, and it's like an extra dollar. I have no idea. Why would I do that to myself? All right, I think we're out of paper towels too. Maybe this is a good time to order those. Fuck it, we're going all paper now. I feel like a fix to Bronze Dragonflight would be that time travel wouldn't be able to affect certain people like Elune, Sargeras, Titans. They bypass it, but ordinary mortals don't. Well, just shouldn't have been any time travel. Once you have time travel, you've opened a Pandora's box of bullshit, and you're gonna be sad. That's sort of that's sort of my take on it. Why even open that door when you could just, not? It's sort of time travel is something that a bad writer falls back on when they've run out of ideas and they don't know what to do. Because it sounds so good, it's like, oh, what if this happened instead? Let's explore that. And it's like, sure, but then what's the aftermath of that exploration? Just move forward in time with your fucking characters. There's no reason to go back. Time travel has to be a self-contained thing within like a movie or a series or whatever. That has to be the whole thing. Because once you introduce time travel, Jesus. Your story's effed in the A. Oof. Huh? Oh. Oh, it's not. One more.
Blood and thunder.
Dark Iron Dwarves, you say? That's pretty far away, actually.
What do you need?
Gethkar? I don't know what that means. I wish I could just get all the quests, because that would save me some time and trouble.
What do you need?
All right, let's do the spiders and then we'll work on the rest of it. I don't think anything here is going to give XP, are they? Oh, wait. Yes, they will. How about a new villain breaks the time travel barrier like Ajara, wanting to keep the timeline intact so she wouldn't be stopped by the Dragonflight? Again, why? Why introduce time travel? It's just going to be a pain somewhere down the line. Because as soon as you introduce it as a storytelling element, it's like, well, why didn't they just go to this point in time and change that? It's just a Pandora's box of bullshit, and there's no reason to do it. For whatever reason, in our universe, as far as we can tell, time only goes forward. So I think it's wise to adhere to that sort of universal truth in any storytelling that you do, just to avoid the inevitable multitudes of what ifs that occur under that circumstance. Because otherwise you have to do a bunch of hand-wavy bullshit. It's like, oh, well, we didn't do that because of this, and we didn't do this because of that. And if you change this, then that person doesn't end up the same and would never have done X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but that's true of anything. So, like, what did you change when you went back in time? Like, that could have been the event that, you know, prevented another cataclysm. Like, it's just too much, and the story doesn't need it. No story needs time travel unless it's a time travel story. Like, Back to the Future doesn't work without time travel because time travel is the point of Back to the Future. Warcraft did not need time travel. It was a mistake. And introducing it just opens up too many questions. Overall, I'm not a fan of it either. How about making it a future version or some sort? Just move forward in time. Whatever you were going to do with your characters in the time travel story, do with other characters. In fact, I think the reason he did it was to get an old character back, right? I mean, that's just a sign of weakness right there. It's like if you're reaching into old characters through time travel because you don't know what to do with new characters, it's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem. That's weak writing. That's a sadness that needs to be resolved through better writing and making cooler characters. Or at least interesting characters. Though I would say that for Warcraft, it is the rule of cool. So, and time travel, not cool. Fucking lame. So it breaks the rule of cool all by itself. Their names are so hard to pronounce, like Nosdormu. I don't think they're that bad, but I mean, I'm still confused how the dragons fit into the mythos of the world. Like, are they the original creators or what? Because there seems to be, like, up until, I don't know, well, up until recently, I suppose, the Titans being the creators of Azeroth was sort of the truth. But I don't know how much of this new storyline that sort of talks more about it. I don't know how much of that was in Metzen's head prior to recent history, let's say. Shadewood, I do need that. Yay, leg quest done. Onyxia resets in 11 hours. Damn, they do an Onyxia? It's the new Onyxia too, with the extra 2 bosses. I have to redo attunement and all that shit. Dragon names are unpronounceable by design. Wait, is there a mailbox? There's no mailbox here. All right, if we're going to do the Dark Iron, then we gotta get both of them. Let's see, what is this? Dragonkin. Okay. What would be worse than time travel would be time travel combined with alternative universes. That's like the final nail on the coffin. Just say I'm out of ideas. Yeah, yes, pretty much. No, fuck. All right, what are we gonna do here? We'll abandon the elite one and grab the Yeti one. Because I think they're right next door. Yeah. Man, if only I had skinning. I bet they had pockets too. Oh my god. Yeti are the best. It's nice to see that your bags are full of food for healing. Before everything was empty, all the potions were 0 and only left us 2 jars of peanut butter. Which your webcam is covering now? What? Letter to Thrall and a white mask of sorrow. What are you talking about? Yeah, I got food. I got poison too. I need to put the shade leaves down here. Bah. How you doing, Pedro? Having a good day? I hope so. I hope everyone's having a good day. Because you deserve it. Not like me. I need to have a shitty day. I gotta go read news articles about how shitty everything is, and then realize that that's the industry I'm in, and that's my life. Everything's fucked. Don't tell me I have to go deep into this cave. All right, we're done with these. We need Hulking Wild Maw, which I think are deeper. There's one. There's two. I gotta remember I don't have safe fall yet. That doesn't happen until 40. Do you know why the models on Reforged are so out of tone? Yeah, it was outsourced. So the person the company that they outsourced the models to just, I don't know, either they weren't Sammy fans or were more fans of retail WoW, maybe. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. What's with this cave? It's different. Different. Oh, here we go. Should I? I was thinking maybe I should wait for the 5-point eviscerate and then use the cold blood on the eviscerate with 5 points. I wonder if that would be a more effective use of it. I can't tell which slot has the peanut butter because you're opening it. You might have eaten it. I think I ate it. Yeah, sorry. I had to fix my earbuds for about 3 hours since I started streaming. Hey, Zagrod, what are you doing? I fixed them. Error code 43. Had to press the power button 30 seconds and disconnect the power outlet. Super fun. Bring me on board all the important things that were discussed. Geez, what would a summary be? Game industry is fucked. Asha Sharma is the devil. Curious about what the Classic Plus is going to look like at the announcement in September from Blizzard, because that's obviously what they're doing. What else did we discuss? Time travel is a shitty crutch for bad writers and shouldn't be used in any story unless the purpose of the story is to give a story about time travel. I think that's it. I don't remember. There was probably more, but I don't remember it. My memory is Swiss cheese, guys. Gotta remember that I don't remember. I'm surprised he didn't aggro. Oh, he did. On my next cold blood, I'm gonna wait for a 5-point eviscerate and then use it. You saw a remake of old Warcraft models in which you commented in one of the videos. Is a Ukrainian artist. He already did all the Horde units and he's doing the Alliance ones. Oh, someone did a reforged of models? Oh, he was posting about, oh, it's a YouTube video. Okay, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I would encourage that. Show Blizzard how it's done, you know? Because they don't know. They don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Maybe Chris does. I hope Chris does. We'll find out. This is why you won't tell us the dark secrets of Warcraft 3. You simply forgot them. There's just not really any dark secrets. Like, the darkest secrets of War 3 are like the, you know, I've even discussed like how I got molested by my boss at the 10-year anniversary party. So like all the dark secrets are out. I've held nothing back. Nothing. And if you want, it's not that there's just nothing left to tell. I've already told it all, and I'm one of those people who don't like repeating myself, you know what I mean? 500 eviscerate. That could have been a 1k crit. I don't like repeating things that I've already said, even though I know that I'm retelling it for a new audience sometimes. It's just one of those, maybe it's a character flaw. It's definitely a character trait. Can you post the link to his stuff on Dave's Discord? Oh, yeah. If you want me to look at anything, posting it on the Discord is the best way to get my attention. Because I look at literally every message posted there. I have a, what would you call it? A need. A need to check on everything that goes up there. Not just for my safety, though. Also for yours. All Warcraft 3's darkest secrets are known to the engine's programmers? But you level makers? I mean, I do wonder if there's stuff hidden in the I mean, there's probably stuff hidden in the code somewhere. I would imagine there is. In which case I wouldn't know anything about it because I never dealt with the code. I just made the levels. So there's stuff hidden in the triggers. But I think I went over in the Warcraft 3 Ask Me Anything series. I think I literally opened up most of the maps and looked through them and made some commentary about the stuff in the triggers that I knew about. Because there are things there like Easter eggs that didn't work out or just funny names on folders because of frustrations and things like that. But it's all in the past series. In order to even remember it then, I still had to open the map and like actually look through it. So remembering it on my own right now without the map editor open is probably impossible. That's why I made those videos. So, you know. It already exists. WoW isn't Warcraft anymore? Yeah, that's fair. I would agree. I would agree with that. WoW is not Warcraft anymore. It's something else. It's almost like a bad Warhammer 40k. It's like a Disneyfied Warhammer 40k. Ew. All right, what else? Why does he have another quest now? What's that about? Okay. No, I abandoned that. Because it's elites. Zarm Geth stronghold to the northwest. I don't know if I can take out an elite actually, but maybe we'll give it a try. Shit. All right, let's abandon that. Grab that. If we're gonna go for the Dragon Maw, may as well have all of their stuff. We're not doing the Iron Forge. We're not doing the Trogs. What's your quest? That's also Dark Iron. That's the other way. All right, I got all the Dragon Maw stuff. Let's go see if we can handle it. To be honest here, I love the idea of time traveling in WoW. It could have brought many characters into new popularity. The fact that WoD made it an alternative version kind of half-assed it, though. Most of what Warlord of Draenor did could have been done as spread content across expansions and put in bit by bit into the Caverns of Time. I think the Caverns of Time is the only place where you can have time travel because it's self-contained. You go into the dungeon, you time travel, it's a closed loop. It always finishes the same way. You don't have to worry about it. And anything outside of that in the main story, silly, ridiculous, pointless, at least to me. Isn't there a pumpkin quest over here? I think the Dragon Maw's this section. The time travel on WoW is a big HS. In most part, time traveling always ruins the history of the game. It does. It always does. And it honestly just is bad writing. It really is. Okay, these guys are level 37 elites. That's not gonna work, is it? Let's try one and see what happens. Oh, good lord, they disarm too? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, yeah, he's kicking my ass. Oh my god. It's over. It's Jover. Wow. That cost me a lot. Arrgh. All right, we can't do that. Fuck all those quests. Jesus H. Grim Batal Memorial. Hello. Can't do that when you're dead. Oh, that's the Grim Batal Memorial? Oh. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Zenrai, I was trying to do the cartographer, and it kept, I was like always stuck on that one, Grim Batal Memorial, and I'm like, where the fuck is the Grim Batal Memorial? And nobody knew. Apparently that was it. Zenrai. Where's Zenrai? What I imagined, I know it's hindsight 2026, but having all those Warcraft to Warcraft 2 champions as so-called standalone dungeons put into the Caverns of Time eventually have a raid-sized big finale could have done Warlord of Draenor way more justice. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if it's in a dungeon and it's self-contained, it's not a big deal. You can do, like, I guess, time travel minuets, let's call it. But ultimately, that just feels like a Disney ride, which is kind of what Caverns of Time always felt like to me. Is like a trip into Disney World, the land of tomorrow and yesterday, you know, which is fine as a gimmick, but you don't want that. That is that hair? That what the f? You don't want that as your main storyline at all. Okay, that was fucked up. What am I doing? For your main storyline, you want to move forward. You don't want to be constantly held back. All right, we don't want to die anymore. Fuck. Let's just go get rid of all these. I think that the iron. I think the dwarves are all kosher in terms of like they're not elite. Caverns of Time are so bad that you got something trash in your mouth when you talked about them. It literally infected me. It made me think I had something in my mouth, yes. Disgusting. How can this be the case? Shouldn't this be elite too, since they're all fucking... Are there non-elite Dragon Maw? Maybe I can hold on to that one then. But I need 2 slots. That's Zarmgeth Stronghold. Maybe there's another one. Yeah, there must be. All right, let's get... Gethkar. That's not Gethkar either. All right. It says it's not elite. Let's assume it's not. Do we drop Razorfen Downs? That's a Varamothras quest. I'd rather keep it, especially since it has a cool main hand mace with a backwards skull, which is actually unique. Baron Rebel Gaz we can get again. So Bone Splitter are also on that direction, but we still need one more slot for this last iron. This last dark iron thing. Where did I get this from? See, this is a good example where they just need to list who gave you the quest. Who gave me the quest and where they're located? Always at the top. Pieces of shit. Shimmering Flats. You've got to be kidding me. That's elites. How about... Oh, we can get this if we go back to Valor, because it's right there. All right. Now we're good. Off to murder the dwarves. Morning, Kisef. How you doing? Waking up to greenness. I don't know about that. The real solution should have been to make a second game after Wrath of the Lich King. I suppose. These look amazing, straight up like they're moving tabletop figures. Well done by the arts. Oh, you're talking about the new, yeah. I'll check those out later. There's the Dark Iron Dwarves. Yep, dwarven bastards. $36 seconds left on that sword. He didn't count? Is he not one of them? Dark Iron Component. Shadow Forge. Groldan. Excavation. Is this not it? This is probably not it then. Oh, it is. All right. We're in the right place. Oh, I gotta replace that one. By the way, where's our bear-loving druid of the Claw Scott? I haven't seen him in a while. Did you finally ban him? I did not ban him. But I made it clear that I wasn't terribly happy with stuff. And I think perhaps he got the message. I'm sure he'll show up again if he has something pithy to say, but I hope that he keeps his love for bears in his pants and not on the chat. Exploring the old Kalimdor of the past. Separate the game to two factions, Night Elves and Trolls. Make some differences between them. Highborn and Lowborn, Forest, Sundalari, Drakari Trolls. Just an idea of mine. Didn't they do that in retail? Or no? Don't they have like all kinds of elves too? Like void elves and other weird shit now? Oh. Get gouged. I like that they laugh at the end there. Oh, that's the dark iron components. All right, how are we gonna deal with this? Oh, I know what to do. Uh-huh. Whoops. Do these guys run? I'm actually not sure. He almost exploded. I'm pretty sure that when they explode, it's instant death, so just keep him out while I get this. A shadewood tree. Itchy. Scott might still be traveling the far north since Winter Spring. He never forgot what Dave did in his last life. All those bears. You talking about Zenrai? Yeah. Fair enough. I don't know. Something in me tells me he might be Dr. Steven Goon vibes. Hopefully they're two separate people, because that would be weird. All right, where are these little boxes? Ah, there's one. I want to make sure I'm near it when he dies. Retail has this, but in dirty ways. The models suck. All the new things for customization are weird because they don't match with the old assets. Well, they sort of took WoW retail in a different direction. It's definitely, as Angelica stated, Disney-fied. I'm not much of a... I'm not one to critique art, because I'm not an artist. But like most people, I know what I like, and have not been, let's say, impressed with the... Oh, thank you for the gifted memberships there, Kisef. I've not been impressed with the Disney-fied... Well, I don't know what the hell's going on with the art style anymore, but it's just too weirdly cell shade smooth, but like not in a... Like if I were gonna do cell shaded, I guess... I mean, isn't it already cell shaded? I don't know. I don't know how to do art critique because I'm not an artist. I just know it doesn't feel like Warcraft anymore. It feels like someone made a Warcrafty cartoon MMO and then just called it Warcraft. Tell me if I'm crazy. The retail version has all these different races, but they're all reskins of the same old. Most of them could be put right under already existing races customizations. Yeah, I mean, they do it because it's cheap. It's easy. It's easier, anyways, than it is to like make it like the ogres. That's why we never get ogres, is like getting all the armor to fit on all of them is going to be costly. But old school Blizzard would have done it because that's the fucking... It would be fucking cool, and ogres are in the horde. Like, why aren't we doing this? Now it's like whatever's cheapest. They can't even get someone to write that off as like okay to do. Where is this tree? Ah, there you are. I definitely need shade wood, so we better go back for it. Are these respawning? I guess they will. I remember this area having some oddity where you dip down into a cave. So Williams, What Ifs, The Joe, Babylonia Rising, Jack Raiden, and Servile. Be sure to thank Kisef when you get the chance. You now have access to the members-only videos. Scott just sings, I'll never be. Dave's good streams, and you're a druid of the quality. You need bears. Sing it like Maria Magdalena. I don't know what the heck that is. The greatest monstrosity they did in my eyes is the whole body type 1, body type 2, pretending shifting from male, female, and call that a day as a crazy double speech. I don't know why they did that, to be honest with you. A lot of games do that now. I guess it's to be inclusive. You can still get what you want out of it, so it's not like a big deal, but it is a little bit I don't know. It's a little bit strange because we all know what it means, but it sort of breaks immersion. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's not meant for me, so I don't really care, and I can get past it. Once I've created the character, it no longer matters, so it can be whatever. If it makes someone else comfortable, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, I suppose. Oh no. Okay. Wait, what the? Come on. Get off the stub. The shit. Alright, this is a problem. This guy got none of that damage. What was that? That's some bullshit. Alright, we're just gonna drink a potion. I don't want to risk it. Eat a food. Every time Kisef gives a handful of subscriptions, I think, who are all these people? We've never seen one of them. It's true. It does seem to give subscriptions to people who are not here right now, but also there are lurkers who never speak, who have gotten subs. And then sometimes they'll pop up and thank him. Which is good. You should. He deserves it. Definitely. Kick. Oh, fuck. Alright. I think he did his arcane thing regardless. He was like, I don't care. Alright, we got both of these done. Let's go turn them in. The only thing is there another one here? No. Okay, what is this? Grim Reaches. Just could be anywhere. This is the Bone Splitter. I think the Trogs are further north or south. These are the Dragon Kin. This is like Bagoth's Rampart. Alright, well, I don't know. Let's just turn these two in and see what happens, I guess. They're AI bots run by Bobby Kotick. That would be hilarious, but but no, I don't think so. What? Meh. Body type is a subcategory, if anything, to either belonging to the male or female gender. I'd like tall guys, short guys with every race, with the females too. I know that's a lot, but adds massive. Yeah, I don't think tall and short is all that. Like, you can put in a slider and actually do it. To be honest, I don't know why they haven't done that, other than it squishing the art a little bit and them not liking that idea, I guess. Don't summon his demonic presence. I heard if you type his name 3 times in a row on any private server, chances are it will be shut down or receive a cease and desist spell thrown at it. Oh dear. AKT, how you doing? Friend and I started the level together challenge with SNS and hardcore. Oh my god. Slow and steady and hardcore? Oh my god. All right. Well, I mean, good luck. I know I wouldn't survive that, but you're probably more patient than I am. So I hope you guys get through it together. Grim Reaches was one of the few zones I never got to play through. Was added after I was 60. I went back for all of them with Zenrai. Like, as soon as they released a new area, I went and explored it because that's just fucking fun. But it's a really good zone, and now that I'm experiencing it at the appropriate level, I think it's very good. I'm having a lot of fun here, except for those elites over there. That I don't know what the fuck that's about. And also, I have some questions about, you know, you name a bunch of things Dragon Maw, then you're gonna end up in a situation where people are butting their heads against the elites over there, not understanding that it's not part of that particular quest. But you know, those are all clarification issues. And the other clarification issue is like just putting the damn name of the guy who gave you the quest on the quest and saying where they're from, because that is so annoying to me when you don't do that. Intricate parts from the wrecks of steam. Oh yeah, okay. I remember this one. No. Oh. Unique or drape. Oh, well, let's see what that looks like. It's a long cave, but it's green and brown and ugly, so. I mean, 15 attack power is pretty good. If it were an offhand, it might even be worth. Well, no, it's not. At least we got the team log for it. Should we send this to Dolgra? Maybe we should. All right. Wait. No, never mind. Actually, yes. Let me see it first. It has a certain charm. I'll send it to her. Actually, you know what? I'm going to lose it no matter what, so I won't bother. Okay. Speaking of hardcore, you promised us a drunken hardcore stream in VR from a first-person perspective. When will that be? I didn't promise VR. I did promise first-person hardcore. That was when TurtleWoW was alive, though, so I kind of threw those plans out. But maybe next week I'll have some interesting things to announce, and we'll see how that goes. I already alluded to this earlier, but Unreal Azeroth is a thing that exists. Shadowblade Post. What a weird thing for a sign to say. So we'll have to see how that. Oh Jesus, it's 12:30. I'm sorry, but I kind of have a bedtime today. Let me see. So tomorrow I have a meeting at 9. And then. So I have to see. Hold on, I need to check my calendar. If you have any last minute questions, now is your time. Where's my calendar? How dare you hide my calendar? There we go. Okay. So tomorrow evening I have a meeting with the Obey guys, and then on Friday I have an interview. I'll be doing I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sheld, SHJELDE, but he's a YouTuber who plays World of Warcraft. He plays on private servers. I'll be interviewing with him for his podcast, and then on that morning I have a very early meeting, so that's gonna suck. Oh well, it is what it is. I'll figure it out. Why is there not? This is not an inn. I want my blue rested XP. What the fuck is this bullshit? Is the other thing an inn? Is this an inn? It is. Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good. Wait, what the fuck? Huh. That's a bug. If anyone from Cappy is watching, you gotta remove these. That's not until February. Bah. All right, let me go through chat. Elite Territory is a group quest fun times where, invite maybe your future best friends you'll be talking with for another 20 years about how life went. True. Nearly a decade ago and beyond, body types would be considered by height and width, not gender identity politics. That's just another corporate choice they don't actually care about other than money. Very true. Very true. KSF is right. I know. They 100% go where the money is. You can see this on their social media. A decade ago, companies' Twitter accounts were all commenting on Pride, and now it's nothing. Yeah, they don't comment on Pride anymore because it's not monetarily beneficial to them anymore. It also helps Druid Paladin combo, group of Jack of all trades. Yeah, that's pretty good. You could just do two Druids though. But yeah. Honestly, two Druids would be better because you can sneak. And you can sneak into dungeons and like kill like just the boss and things. Anyways, they make token endorsements that cost them little to nothing in the long run just for social goodwill, and it goes both ways. Yep, 100%. I see it all the time. A minor body type complaint I have for Baldur's Gate 3 is that 1 is very petite and 3 is very muscular. It feels like there should be a middle ground, no variety in weight either. Yeah, now that you mention it. They do have the reason that they do it is because they have all those different armors. So they scale it to one and then to the other. And if you vary it too much, then you have to redo all the armors for another body type. But they probably could have gotten a little bit more variety out of it. They do have height, though. You can like grow and shrink your character. Am I right? Or is that not Baldur's Gate 3? No, Baldur's Gate 3. It should have been a Zeppelin stop for Kargoth, by the way. Oh, yeah. That would have made more sense. You wanted a diverse group. Yeah, but now the paladin has to be dragged everywhere because he can't sneak. Like if you go druid rogue, you can do a bunch of stuff too, but if you go two druids, you can literally do anything. Freaking druids, man. Way too OP. All right, guys, I gotta go to bed. If you haven't watched the latest game dev news, I suggest you do. It's quite eye-opening if you're not aware of everything that's going on in the game industry right now. It's tons and tons of layoffs. There's like literally 14,000 people have been laid off. It's a mess. It's a real mess, and it's going to affect all the games you love, and anything that you're expecting to come out in the future from Microsoft has been set back by a number of years. So might be good to catch up on that. No need to sneak in anywhere. Well, all right. Sorry if you're coming in at the last minute, but you can always rewind and check this out from the start. I've got to go, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. I would say Hail Hydra, but I'm not in Hydra anymore. I need a new catchphrase. Let me know what you think. Ta-ta for now.